Okay, this was the Nigeria Investment Survey. It's called London Response, first edition, November 2015. This was the document published about a year ago outlining what investors think about Nigeria at the Nigeria Capital Markets Forum in London. And that will be part of the discussion over the next 15 minutes. Listen in here. Now, I'm reading from page 17 here, one of the key findings. Some investors are extremely bullish on Nigeria. Number two, policy instability is a far bigger headache than corruption and terrorism. And some says Nigeria is scary from afar, but far from scary. Bite Oduneye is the managing director and chief executive officer at one of the firms called Energy Global or Eagle Global Markets, and is live here in the studio. You were there. Good morning. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you very much.
I hope you had a nice weekend.
Yes.
You were there in November last year, and we had close to another November in 2016. This report then looked at what the reactions. This was a survey conducted back then. Talk us through the sentiments from the London market as far as Nigeria was concerned.
Okay, the survey was put together by a Nigerian think tank called Nigerians in the Square Mile. It comprises of Nigerian professionals who work in the Square Mile. Now, we asked 60 fund managers who invest in Nigeria on their views, a number of questions from what they find, what returns are like investing in Nigeria, and the ease of doing business in Nigeria. The response was very interesting, to say the least. A number of them stayed completely bullish. They found that their first transactions were very difficult, but it got easier with time. They were very happy with their colleagues and their counterparts, the professionals which they deal with who were here. The major problem was the political instability and direction of the country going forward. Obviously, it's been a while since the report has been published. We have currently working on New York Response, where we're doing exactly the same thing with fund managers in the United States with their views on investing in Nigeria. But at the time when the report was conducted, the appetite for investing in Nigeria was still extremely high. The downsides, again, were the political instability and the sliding oil price. Now, since the report was conducted, of course, we have slid into a recession, and things have become a bit more difficult. But the general view from the investing public is that we still remain, without a doubt, a very attractive place to do business. The major issue is the state of the economy and the direction which our lawmakers will take.
Look at these few issues here. Policies instability was mentioned by investors way back in 2015 from the diaspora as a bigger headache for them. Do you think we're doing better now as far as policy stability is concerned?
Well, I would like to think so. I mean, the honest truth is I could sit here and do a blame game and say we haven't been very clear with regards to what we want the economy to do. But the reality is when the oil price falls so aggressively from $110 to where it is today, it would have been very difficult for anyone to deal with that fall. The issue still remains. It is still the major issue, which is the direction of the policymakers. The exchange rate, for example, would be a major issue. I've said it many times before, but a number of fund managers, all they have is their reputation, and no one wants to make an investment on a Monday, and come Friday, it's devalued by 15–20% as a result of an exchange rate. So we've got a number of people sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what develops. But from my conversations with a number of these fund managers, the appetite for investing in Nigeria still stays extremely large.
Are they still worried about corruption and terrorism, what you call insecurity generally?
Well, we thought that terrorism would be very high up on the list, the sort of things that would worry them, but somehow it has not. It's not their major concern, which leads me to believe that they are comfortable, or they believe that we would deal with this situation. So it has not played a major part in it at all. I think the reality is, although there are a number of opportunities that do exist in Africa, a number of countries that also provide interesting returns, But we've got the numbers, the population, the consumers that are here that would continuously need food, resources, infrastructure. So I think we're still betting on the fact that we will get it right. Of course, patience is moving, and we are losing out to a number of jurisdictions which are a bit safer and have clearer direction. But we're confident with what we're seeing from the federal government, from the Ministry of Finance, that sooner rather than later they'll be able to define a very, very clear place in which they decide to lead the country.
Let's have an outlook on the SCM event in November 2016, going back to the global marketplace. We have issues whether we'll still be able to do a Eurobond in 2016 or not. Do we still have the same environment? Are things changing? What's the outlook for the November NCM?
Okay, the MCM, have you mentioned, it's the Nigerian Capital Market Forum, something that we've hosted every year for the last 3 years. It entails the head of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, as well as a brilliant team from the Stock Exchange, and in most cases about 40 CEOs of listed companies, both listed on the Stock Exchange and stockbrokers, who come over to London to explain in the detail the opportunity that does exist in investing in the Nigerian economy. The attendance is normally full of 400 or so plus boutique investment firms, from fund managers to private equity firms to hedge funds, who meet the Nigerian delegation to strike deals. Really, that's the purpose. And the CEOs and the head of the exchange come over to explain in detail what opportunities do exist. Now, it's been great since we've started. I mean, the demand for attendance has grown considerably.
But this time it's going to be really tough. I'm going to cut in there very respectfully. But it's going to be tough this time,
yes,
explaining
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Recession is going to be a major discussion in November.
It's going to be the only discussion I'll expect.
The only elephant in the room.
Yes, a massive elephant in the room. But I expect our CEOs and the head of the exchange to eloquently explain that yes, it's tough, and there's no running away from that. You know, we are in a recession, the worst economy for 25 years. There's no escaping that. I suppose all we can do is to keep pushing the fact that these reforms are being made. Yes, they could be faster, but these reforms are being made. And if you thought Nigeria was a brilliant opportunity in 2013, it should still remain a brilliant opportunity in 2016.
Well, there's a new thinking, a new thing also, how to trade the markets on our trading new platform. Talk to us about this new EGM.
Okay.
What you're working at.
I left the private equity boutique investment fund, which is the A&O Acquisitions, and I've been in Nigeria now for seven months. I do 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And we've launched Eagle Global Markets, which is a multi-asset derivative platform. It enables the Nigerian clientele to now trade global markets in our local currency, Naira. Meaning we've been able to eradicate the foreign currency risk, where people normally would have to trade on the MT4 platform in US dollars. We have 2 platforms, one being the Cloud Trade platform, which is the Naira platform, and the MT4 platform, which is the world's most popular platform. We think it's very wise for us not to go away with the MT4 platform, being that at the moment we have over 100,000 active traders in Nigeria who trade on the MT4 platform. We launched in June, opened up our doors in June, got a very brilliant team in Ikoyi on Raymond Njoku, who have helped make the process of growing the business much better than I would have expected.
This is part of your own way. This is your own way of looking at the volatility, whatever it is, the liquidity issues in the FX market, and get guys to say, look, if you trade in the Nigerian market, why not trade it in local currency? Why trade it in a foreign currency?
Well, a number of things. That's very right, Paulson. Of course, for those that do want to trade in the US dollars on the MT4 platform, we do have that. But we think technology is available that enables enables us as a company develop the platform to enable our clients trade global markets in Naira. So now you can, for example, during the Brexit, you could have taken advantage of the slide in the markets. Every time there's an opportunity to trade global markets, you can now do that in Naira. You can trade from anywhere in the country using our mobile app. We are on Android and we are on at the App Store, and it's a web browser platform, so you don't have to download it. Real-time prices, and you can now speculate on price movements on any financial instrument in the world from the comfort of your living room in Naira.
Let's get back to this recession as the new buzzword. Do you think whatever trading platform you're using now, folks are really still interested in doing portfolio investment?
Well, the way we look at it is this. What we offer in no way is it going to replace investing on the Nigerian Stock Exchange or investing in mutual funds or everything that we are used to investing here in Nigeria, fixed income, etc. No, not at all. We're not here to replace it. It's to provide opportunity. It's investing in something that the recession doesn't affect. So now you can speculate in global markets. So if you think about it like this, I can trade now any forex pair, any commodity in the world, any indice and any stock, any global stock. I can go long and I can go short in Naira, which means although that the Nigerian economy is going through a very, very difficult time, I can still trade Europe. I can trade the DAX, the FTSE, the Dow, anything in Naira. So it just adds another dimension to one's portfolio. It's a natural progression, we believe. It just enables. It's not. I suppose it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. It's for a particular client who has the appetite to trade global markets. I would add that we have, or we believe we have, the best education facility in the country in Ikoyi, where we offer seminars every day, including Saturdays, where we train people how to trade global markets and how to use the platform.
And everybody wants someone from the outside to invest in. Are we cultivating local investors here? I think. Or are we leaving them out?
Well, for the stocks and shares, I would think a lot more attention would be much nicer. What I mean by that, not to say that all the stockbroking firms and our investing community are not doing their very best, but I do think when you have a situation where we have above 50% of foreign investment invested in our stock exchange, it's always going to be risky when we hit hard times because, I mean, the foreign investors, they're answerable to their shareholders. So when things get tough, it's only fair they leave. I know they do get a bad name for leaving, but, that's their remit is to generate returns for their clientele. So I would think, and it's something we are working on, speaking to channels also about it and other bodies, is to do, instead of very similar to the roadshows which we do abroad, like the Singapores, the Hong Kongs, and the Beijings, which we've done in the past, is to use the last quarter of this year and early quarter next year to concentrate on doing a roadshow within Nigeria to enlighten and educate our youth and everyone who does not take part in our markets to take part. The best and the easiest way to take part in the growth of our great nation is to start off by having a stockbroking account. Now, there will be a number of people that will come back and would say, well, the markets have not they've not done very well, and why would I want to invest in stocks and shares? And they have every right to do so. But I think with education on the aspect to make them understand that these things happen in cycles. I think any reasonable individual, if you explain to him that the economy has gone, oil price has gone for what it is, and we are dependent on oil. We don't sell them, we sell them the reality. They would understand.
Should I invest in a recession? Should I invest during recession?
I would, and I think like a number of fund managers are doing the same. It's the best time to invest. It's the best time you get the best prices.
So when folks get scared, you get...
It's without a doubt. It's very difficult, I understand, and it's my firm and as well as a number of investment firms who will continuously say a recession is the best time to invest. When you are in a recession, it's a completely different feeling. But as long as you believe that the Nigerian economy sometime in the not near distant future will come back to the strength that we believe it will, and it will fulfill its potential, then it is a great time to invest.
I think you sounded one of the most optimistic person in the last couple of days with the nasty economic data.
It's not optimism based on being optimistic for the sake of it. We are in very, very tough times. As I mentioned, the worst economy for 25 years.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, and we really appreciate your perspective on things this morning. Gbete Oduneye, thank you very much. Eagle Global Markets.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll keep the conversation going, and again, see you in November at the next Nigeria Investment Survey, when the 2016 report will be out on the street. The conversation around trading equities in recession is not over yet. We'll go back to the markets in the final part of the program. Stick around. We're back in about 2 minutes. We'll have a lot more discussions for you.